Welcome everyone to an awesome game between Grand Cathay and the Ogre Kingdoms with Hitman Hippo, that awesome name, leading Grand Cathay. So we're going to be starting here with the Ogre Kingdoms. On the right hand side we are going to have triple Noblar Trappers and an extra unit of the Noblars. Over on the left hand side, one unit of the regular Noblars, and then we're going to come with the main four. So double of the lead belchers in the middle, of course 200 range, 94 armor piercing missiles per model, making them very, very powerful indeed. 3 units of the Noblars in the middle, so making 5 in total, and then the unit choice of the Slaughtermaster of the Great Moor. So the Lord choice here with the Blood Gruel, as well as the Blood Cleaver, Belly Slapper as well, which is going to be -8 melee attack there in a 35 meter radius, so very good there on the domination points. And then also with the spells of the Bone Crusher, the Brain Gobbler, and then also extra ingredients. And look at this, we are going to have the triple boyos. We're going to have the triple Noblar Scrappers. Look at the boys getting forward. Now these could be incredibly useful or incredibly garbage. It really depends. If we have any Grand Cannons or any sort of sniper tools, maybe the Crane Gunners, they could do very well here up against the triple Scrap Launchers. Otherwise, they're going to do very well up against the Mass Infantry that can come forward with Grand Cathay. So for Grand Cathay, we are going to start at the front here with the ginormous, my favourite boy, the Terracotta Sentinel. The man, the myth, the legend, going to be leading the front line here, charging into battle. We are going to have 3 units of the Peasant Long Spearmen and a unit of the Sword and Shield Jade Warriors. Now we are going to have the Lord choice, which is going to be Miao Ying, the Storm Dragon. She's going to be doing very nice stuff indeed, with spell resistance, missile resistance as well. We are going to have the Arcane Conduit, Life Bloom, and then also the Disdain of the Dragon. Still a very nice ability for -8 melee attack. We're also going to be having the Master of Element Wind, so if we do bring a couple of those, we can bolster all that magic prowess with the Missile Mirror, Flesh to Stone, and also the Earth Blood. We're also going to be having the Transformation of the Dragon, and then the Wrath of the Storm for those magical attacks, melee buffs, and of course immune to psychology. In the back, we are going to be having 2 units of the Grand Cannons, and then we're also going to be having a Crane Gunner, which has certainly been improved. The DPS on these bad boys, they have gone up to 1200 gold cost, but the DPS has been increased so much. I can't wait to see what this is going to do here on today's battle. In the back, looks like we're going to get an immediate summon of the Jade Warrior Halberds, and 1 Grand Cannon here with the Peasant Long Spearman on the right. So maybe coming to the ridge here, there's some really nice locations to fire here, which you can protect quite nicely. It's going to be very difficult to compromise this position. You do have one on the left-hand side as well. Then we can also charge down the middle with the big cumbersome Terracotta Sentinel. So Grand Cannons are going to be a bit of a pain here for the Noblar Scrap Launchers, but they've got great mobility. 66 speed, they can get around the battlefield. The artillery pieces here for the Ogre Kingdoms are such a nightmare. They're so quick, just as quick as most of the cavalry here coming from Grand Cathay, so they can be just a bit of a nuisance. But Howard's coming in, anti-large, armor piercing, very, very good choice indeed. Peasant Long Spearmen are extremely cost efficient. Most of the Ogre Kingdoms do not have much armor, and these boys do come with, of course, bonus first large. That's going to give them melee attack and increase that base weapon damage against all the large boys. In the back, the lead belchers probably going to rotate here to domination point 3. That looks to be the favoured position for the Ogre Kingdoms, and then we're also going to have the triple Noblars coming forward. That might do to be the Vanguard deployment over here on the left hand side, so we can get a bit of a closer spawn point here for the Ogre Kingdoms, and they have quite a few vanguarding units. In the middle, we are going to have the Terracotta Sentinel charging forward. He's going to be holding that point with a few of the cheap units of infantry, and then also Miao Ying. On the right, we are going to take a nice defensive hold here. We are going to get some Peasant Long Spearmen in behind, protecting, also giving the harmony of yin and yang here to either or. And then the Peasant Long Spearmen are going to be taking domination point 1. Now, they will beat back the Noblars, but there's going to be 3 coming forward, which means we'll have more capture weight and potentially could overwhelm the majority of the Long Spearmen. So it looks like we're going to be shooting into the front. Noblar Scrap Launcher is going to be just yeeting all kinds of crap. Anything pretty much they can find on the floor is going to be spread amongst the Jade Warriors and then also the Peasant Long Spearmen. A little bit protected here is going to be the Terracotta Sentinel. He's going to be using this nice piece in the middle. He's going to be protecting him up against the Lead Belchers. And over on the left-hand side, Noblar Trappers coming over to try and see if they can hold back the tide of Peasant Long Spearmen and the Peasant Archers. On the point, the Noblars are going to be waited to capture, 49 seconds away here, and it looks like we are going to be getting the high ground here, Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi, with these Crane Gunners. They've clearly been watching a lot of Star Wars, and very nicely here, Jade Warrior Halberds are going to be using protection. Nice stuff here coming from Hitman Hippo. He certainly knows what he's doing. In the back, Peasant Archer is going to be taking up a bit of a position here behind the Grand Cannon as well, and they could really fire with 140 range into the Noblars. They don't have much armor, they don't really have any shields, but they can get around the back here and start compromising. The Grand Cannons really not going to have too much to shoot up here, and if they do get trapped by mass infantry, there's nowhere for them to go. On the top, Noblar Scrap Launcher is going to be using the high ground yet again. And looks like we're going to be using Missile Mirror on the Lead Belchers, which is a really nice ability. We can shoot ourselves here with these models. Hopefully we'll be able to see some of that in action. After maybe try and fire here up against the Sentinel. It looks like they're going to rotate, so it's like the Mirror Missile unfortunately isn't going to take any action. But still, it's a very nice spell that can kind of blockade the Lead Belchers from firing into the front line. Lead Belcher is going to be running away. We do see the Shield Breaker ability, so they're going to be getting shot here by the Crane Gunners as they're going to be running away from the Sentinel. But he's got 48 speed and only 42 here for the Lead Belchers. Probably would have split Miao Ying and sent it over to the right-hand side to compromise these Lead Belchers. And so we are actually going to be overcasting that Missile Mirror, so it's actually going to be an increased amount of time. J-Bar is coming across, and I'm sure these bad boys are going to get a bunch of lead here in the front line. Yeah, there we go. Big cannons down the front, and they're just going to be spreading open all of the Jade Warriors and, you know, really destroying them. And in the back, we're now going to be poking with the big pointy sticks of the Noblars. They're going to be getting in and just jabbing, being a general nuisance, and trying to see... Oh, the Slaughtermaster also going to be yeeting into combat. And here we go. Oh, my God. Big hit. Bit of bowling here in the front from the Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw. J-Warrior is going to be chasing the back here up against the Lead Belchers. So on the point, we are going to be having the Crane Gunner still going strong. Struggling a little bit was going to be the Grand Cannon. And the other one here, I believe, has been compromised. It looks like they are going to be trying to get away here. But we do actually have Saber Tusks in the back. Noblars as well, going to be holding back the Jade Warriors and them getting into the pocket. But the Peasant Long Spearmen, they'll do a great job here against the Saber Tusks. Not much armor, and they don't count as large. Scrap Launcher is going to be yeeting all kinds of crap into the front here against the Grand Cannon, and now we have the Morfang Cavalry in the back. Now that's going to be a bit of a problem here for the Peasant Long Spearmen. The Great Weapon Morfang Cavalry do have 90 armor, so they're going to be a bit of a nuisance to stop here, which is cheap Peasant Long Spearmen. In the back, Crane Gunners could be getting compromised. We do see the Noblar Trappers getting around the corner, and they will wreck the Crane Gunners. That's a bit of a problem here when you go with lots of artillery and ranged pieces, and you don't have much infantry to help. And you can see Domination Point 3... and then also Domination Point 1 here, going to be in the control of the Ogre Kingdoms. Point 2 has been taken by Grand Cathay. Peasant Long Spearmen are going to be returning after they've broken both units here. Jade Warrior Halberds also suffering up against Iron Guts. But, you know, Jade Warrior Halberds, they should be well designed here to deal with the Iron Gut infantry. Over on the left, we do see the Terracotta Sentinel. He will be terror routing, I'm sure, pretty soon with the Noblars. But we do have Lead Belchers going to be shooting into the pocket. We should compromise with the Jade Warriors rather quickly. But it's going to be a lot of unnecessary damage here for the Sentinel. Don't quite know where Miao Ying is here on the battlefield. She's going to be the bag in dragon form. She might be compromising some of the Noblar Scrap Launchers here in the back. Hopefully we can stop those from firing into the front line. But we have more Saber Tusks coming forward. 95 speed. It's going to be a bit of a nuisance here for the Grand Cannons. On the point, we do see Peasant Long Spearmen looting here up against the Noblars. Cannons are going to be firing at the front. And it looks like the choice is going to be up against the Ogre Bulls. Only 2 models left. They're going to get dragged down within an inch of their life. And now we have more coming forward. We do have the Iron Hell Gunners really bringing the armor piercing. Those shotguns going to be dragging down the Morfang Cavalry in a very nice fashion indeed. The Grand Cannon crews in the back probably want to desummon those, allow those to come with a bit more of a tanky health here. Nice there, desummon of the Peasant Long Spearmen, and there's going to be some good macro throughout the battlefield. Peasant Long Spearmen are going to be broken, so we do see the Iron Guts charging forward. Now we do have the Crane Gunners. They could just fire around the corner here, use a bit of a wanted kind of effect. But what's coming here? Oh yes, let's go! So we're going to be getting the DUNE Dragons, the Regiment of Renowned Celestial Dragon Guard. And look at these bad boys coming here with their kind of Jade Warrior shields. They're going to be having spell resistance, charge reflection, expert charge defense, immune to psychology, anti-large, armor piercing, and also magical attacks. Makes them very strong up against those demon factions. They have brilliant stats coming in at triple gold chevron, 95 armor, 85 leadership, and of course they're still not going to be getting the Harmony of Yang. 53 melee defense. I'm sure that can get anywhere into the mid-60s, which could be absolutely incredible. Charging forward, the Iron Guards are just going to be getting absolutely spread open here by the Crane Gunners. They're just getting destroyed by numbers here. But we do see the Noblar Trappers in the back. They're going to be firing here up against the Crane Gunners. Oh no! So the Crane Gunners unfortunately are going to be falling here. Yeah, they're going to get absolutely deleted in a matter of seconds. Only 12 melee attack and 18 melee defense for them is not going to be too good. So they're going to fall apart pretty quickly. And the Doom Dragons, yeah, they don't care. They're going to allow the Crane Gunners to fall there in the back. So they're going to be fighting in the front. Actually, let's get a little bit of a look in here. They're going to be fighting halberds ready to go. Look at those sweeping animations. And yeah, some of these are absolutely fantastic. I love some of like the green element of them. Oh, yeah, I'm a big fan of these. Big fan. Maybe my favourite looking unit so far out of the Regiments of Renown. In the back, we are going to be summoning some Peasant Archers. Bit of an interesting choice, considering we do have Iron Guts here. We are going to move forward with the Halberds, but immediately summon the Peasant Archers directly at the front here, when we could have maybe, spawned them in the back. They're going to be immediately in melee combat, which is not looking too great for them. So Iron Guts going to be charging downhill in the back. Also, the Noblar is going to be compromising here the Grand Cannons, and it looks like it's going to be a triple cap here along the battlefield. So Ogre Kingdoms are going to be taking the point. Miao Yang going to be in the middle. She's going to be using Flesh to Stone, so 60% physical resistance up against the Morfang Cavalry. And it looks like we are going to get a rear charge here. The DUNE Drag is now going to be fighting up against the Iron Guts, and we're going to be shooting in from behind as well here with the Iron Hell Gunners. Now they're going to be getting compromised at the same time by the Noblars. They're going to get those pokey sticks in the back, and they're going to be fighting up against the lightly armoured Iron Hell Gunners, so not too good for them. It's 17 on 17, going up against 18 on 26, so really not good for them. They will fall pretty damn quickly. But Noblars not looking too healthy, not particularly too happy as well. And they've got the rear charge here on the Iron Hell Gunners, which is quite interesting. The close quarters missile infantry looks like they are going to beat back the Noblars, which is going to be rather good here for Grand Cathay. So the DUNE Dragons, as well as the J-Bora Halberds, going to be charging forward here, and they're going to, maybe assert some dominance in the middle. This is a bit of a problem. So we are going to have Gorgers coming forward onto Domination Point 3. We do have the J-Boras. They are not going to last long. We need to get this Terracotta Sentinel back on the point, but he's going to be charging off up against the Lead Belchers. 2 units of the Noblar Trappers on the left-hand side. They'll be coming back, and they could really secure Domination Point 3, but one has been taken by Grand Cathay. So on the point, double Peasant Long Spearmen. No, 1 unit, and then 1 unit of the Halberds, and the Grand Cannons looking over the top. So, in the middle here, we are going to be having Morfang Cavalry, the Great Weapons charging through, and they've got so much mass, they'll get straight on the back here against the Iron Hell Gunners. But we do have a Sentinel in the back, and he has 600 armor-piercing weapon strength. Cannon's going to be shooting as well. You can see those heavy cannonballs going to be firing into the cavalry, and that is certainly going to hurt. We do have Peasant Archers in the back. I think Peasant Archers is a bit of an interesting one. They can do very well up against the standard infantry, but anything here with anything more than probably 70 armor, they're going to struggle to really take down. As looks like we do shatter the back there with the Crane Gunners. Archers still going to be firing into the pocket, but the mobility of 75 speed here in the Morfang Cavalry going to prove to be a bit of a nuisance. We do actually have the Iron Hell Gunners still shooting, but they might be able to finish off the cavalry, but the cavalry otherwise might finish off the remainder of the summons here in the back for Grand Cathay. Peasant Long Spearmen's coming forward here with the Peasant Archers, trying to see if we get a bit of a domination point here on the battlefield. So they're going to come to point 3. Point 2 is now going to be captured here for Grand Cathay. 4,100 tickets for the Ogre Kingdom. Incredibly close here to getting the win. They really, really need to bolster domination point 3. Now we do have the Noblar Trappers on the side. We also have Noblars really holding the front line, and we need to finish them off here with the Morfang Cavalry in the back. More Trappers going to be coming to the fray here. Archers are going to be sat on top of the infantry, which is a big loss, unfortunately. So the Peasant Archers are going to be falling rather quickly, but we do get the buffs here of the Harmony of Yang for the Peasant Long Spearmen. Charging forward the Gorgers, they'll be finishing off this left-hand pocket, but it looks like through the middle are going to be coming the Jade Warrior Halberds, so they could get onto Domination Point 3 here and prevent the win from the Ogre Kingdoms. It's going to be rather close. We are going to summon a unit of the Lead Belchers in the back. Rotating is going to be the Noblar Scrap Launchers, and the Lord Choice is trying to capture Domination Point 1. We come through with a big slice here of the Terracotta Sentinel. The Slaughtermaster is going to run away here through his Noblars, and it looks like, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to capture the point. The Terracotta Sentinel is just going to be too much here for the Domination Point, and yeah, he's just going to walk through. We have 54 speed for the Slaughtermaster, 48 for the Sentinel, and we looks like are going to be just about capturing. It's going to be very, very even here. The Slaughtermaster goes, so it looks like it is going to be in the favour of Grand Cathay, so we will hold Domination Point 1. Point 3, we do have a second Sentinel over there. Halberds are going to be joining as well. And I think here, unfortunately, we played a little bit too much in the backfield. We're going to be summoning range units as well, which aren't going to be too great at capturing domination points. And now we're going to come with another artillery piece. This could be a big problem. We need to get infantry on the battlefield, and we need to get it on now. In the middle, we are going to be having Peasant Archers. You really want these on the Domination Point 2. It means they can shoot past it and then also maintain the capture weight for Domination Point 2. You don't really care if the Noblar Scrap Launcher is going to be fighting in melee. You just really need to buy yourself time so you can get more infantry on the point. In the middle, we are going to have the Gorgers. They're really going to be suffering to the Peasant Long Spearmen. They've already got 15 armor, and the majority they're going to be anti-infantry and armor piercing, so they're going to really thrive up against a lot of heavily armored troops. Miao Ying is going to be using Earthbound Overcast. That's going to double the time of healing there, and that's going to be healing all of the troops in the middle. We are going to be getting the Harmony buffs, and look at that, up to 12 leadership and 12 melee defense. That is fantastic stuff there for the Peasant Long Spearmen. Moving in with the Peasant Archers on Domination Point 3, and now we're going to rotate with the Terracotta Sentinel. If we can hold here on Domination Point 2, 2,780 tickets going up against 4,600. It's going to be a big halt here for the Ogre Kingdoms. They need to collect their force and they need to select a domination point to go after. In the back, we are going to be rampaging here with the Saber Tusks. They're going to be cleaning up the Iron Hell Gunners. We actually have the Jade Warrior Crossbows in the back. Maybe they could finish off the Saber Tusks, or maybe they could just get forward here and help bolster one of the domination points. 2 is going to get captured rather quickly. Gorgeous is going to be fighting in the middle. We do see the artillery pieces shooting at rather close range here with the scrap launcher, but the Lord Choice is going to be in. She's going to be using Earthblood, trying to heal as many of the units as possible. Peasant Archers is going to be fighting in hand-to-hand combat, the brave archers of old, and then we are going to have the Terracotta Sentinel moving forward here to maybe compromise most of the infantry points. So Noblars going to be moving onto the point, and it looks like we have a lot of cavalry here to fight up against the Sentinel. Lead Belchers do need to retreat, and it looks like the Slaughtermaster, I think this is going to be a little bit too much all over the place. We do see a nice explosion spell here in the back. Oh, that's some good damage there against the Jade Warrior Crossbows. Lord Choice is going to be fighting up against the Jade Warrior Halberds. I kind of want to see him on Domination Point 2, and maybe challenging up against Miao Ying. We are going to be holding it. We are now going to bolster it with Jade Warriors and also Jade Warrior Halberds. Terracotta Sentinel is in the back. He will compromise the Lead Belchers. He is faster. The other one is going to be fighting here up against the Morfang Cavalry. As long as he holds the back, you don't really mind. Domination Point 3 is going to have a lot of resources, and unfortunately, I think it might be too many. You might want to rotate a few just to the middle. But 4,100 here up against 4,600. This is a seriously close game. We have Saber Tusks fighting on Domination Point 1. Could we capture it here? We're going to be fluffing around a little bit too much in the back here up against the Jade Warrior Crossbows. We need to get on that Domination Point. We absolutely must capture at this moment. In the middle, we're going to be slowly capturing here with the weight of the Noblars. Fighting in melee combat is going to be the Noblar Scrap Launcher, but we have more reinforcements on the side here. So Jade Warrior Crossbows, Jade Warrior Halberds moving onto the Domination Point. The Peasant Archers do break, but we can see more rotation here coming out of Grand Cathay. So nice work here coming from Hitman Hippo. And it looks like Domination Point 1 might be going down, but we do have Peasant Long Spearmen on the approach. So Brain Gobbler giving that negative 16 leadership here up against the Jade Warrior Crossbows, making a very nice break in the backside. On top of that fear, that's going to be negative 24 leadership. So very, very strong indeed. Jade Warrior Halberds come onto the point. They're now going to fight up against the Saber Tusks. They're going to be anti-arch. Oh no, that's going to be the DUNE Dragons. Oh, the legendary ones. They're going to be fighting here in the middle, trying to see if we can take down. And it looks like here, Grand Cathay gets the win. Oh wow. Fantastic stuff. That was about 1,000 tickets going up against 4,600. And what a comeback here coming from Grand Cathay. I think early doors going with so much expensive range was maybe just a little bit of a mistake, but we managed to get forward here. And I think the Ogre Kingdom's going a little bit left, right and centre, trying to fight for the whole battlefield. Kind of lost into the game. I think what they needed to do is have a focused force and really go towards one domination point and hold it. If we managed to do that, we probably could have won the game. But either way, a really good comeback here for Hitman Hippo. So 1,800 for Miao Ying, with 840 for the Terracotta Sentinel, 1,180 for the Crane Gunners, 1,301 damage value for the Grand Cannon, 430 for the Jade Warriors, 1,047, 1,180 there for the Peasant Long Spearmen. If you want a unit that's going to be incredibly cost efficient, Peasant Long Spearmen are the ones here up against the Ogre Kingdoms. Now, in the backside, 1,054 there for the Terracotta Sentinel, 140 kills, but only 460 damage value for the DUNE Dragons. Didn't really have much to get into towards the end, but they did a very good job indeed, and they managed to solidify the middle of the battlefield and allow a bit of a turnaround here on the battlefield. 350, 240, and 370 for the Jade Warrior Halberds, and 61. Crossbows coming in at 450 and 99. 900 coming in for the Iron Hell Gunner, still a very, very good choice. Very, very cheap for bucket loads of armor piercing. 240 and 580 for the Peasant Archers. 625 for the Peasant Long Spearmen, with 127 kills to 380 there for the Peasant Long Spearmen. So the Slaughtermaster of the Great Maul, 960 for him, some good spells there in the back, 630, 1,600 for the Lead Belchers with 780, 1,400 and 950. Noblar Scrap Launchers actually doing pretty well, managed to keep out of the way here on this map as well, up against all of those Grand Cannons, so some very, very good work indeed. 675, 850 and 460 for the Noblar Trappers with 320, 215, 200, 370, and then also 274 for the Noblars. So what an awesome game. I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. Also got to see the fantastic brand new unit of the DUNE Dragons. One of my favourite looking units in the game. They look absolutely gorgeous, I must say so. But if you guys did enjoy this, do feel free to smash that like button. Leave a comment down below as well, and I'd like to know all your thoughts and opinions. What is your favourite current regiment of renown? Do let me know. If you haven't already, do feel free to subscribe. It really does help the growth of the channel. Also, just liking and viewing these videos just, you know, really helps push them out to the wider audience. So hopefully more people can join us here in the Warhammer scene. If you haven't, check out that description where you can find all my other social media platforms, including that Twitch and then also that Discord. I won't be going back to Twitch and doing some more live streams on YouTube very soon. I've got my last exam on the 23rd, and then we're back in full again. So I've been your boy Logic. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all very, very soon.